This is 0.0 for the loop trail, Trail A, and also Trail B, which leads out across the knife edge. It starts down this way. This will be a 5-foot mown path that hugs the edge of the forest line. We'll clear about 15 to 20 feet into the woods on this side, clearing invasives, snags that can fall across the trail.
Do we trim up limb up these trees too, like get these dead things off?
That needs limbing or anything like that, we'll clean up the edge of this really nicely. Start replanting our natives into the woods here. So this meadow edged piece and the other meadow edged piece of the trail will be a little bit different from the interior trails where we're doing 15 feet off the center line in either direction. These will be more like focusing 20 or so feet into the woods on things like this, so that you have a nice buffer created that's nice to look at, starting to look clean.
So for example, this pile, what would we do with that?
Yeah, from the edge of the path and about 15 or 20 feet over, that's all going to get cut up and chipped and removed.
Okay, so all the stuff goes?
All that shit, yep.
Okay.
This way, we'll cut large dead snags.
Now here, how about this one? So there's already, you probably can't zoom in, but oh yeah, you can. Woodpecker holes.
That one's very nearly on the borderline of falling. Like if it fell, it would probably not touch the trail. So we'll make good educated decisions about those as we come across them. This one next to it though is a little taller, for example. So that one we would definitely cut down, and this one closest to the trail we would definitely cut down, regardless of the fact that there are signs of life in it. It's just too much of a danger and an eyesore.
Okay.
So, all the way through in here.
How about the vines?
All the shit. Anything dead or invasive, 15 feet. Anything within the buffer zone that's dead or invasive is going to be removed.
All right.
All the way around. So we continue the mown path through here, around the corner. Same thing, about 20 feet into the woods here. And this is some of the areas Dan was talking about with the cedars where we would plant some other beneficial native plants that in conjunction will attract specific bugs and animals.
Yeah, it's a good spot for pycnanthemum.
So this is all what I consider light clearing. It's mostly invasive removal, forestry mowing, and weed whacking and spraying.
At some point we need to talk about what to do with the cherries, whether we...
Well, that's a high level. That's the next level of this restoration. We'll start attacking, large invasive species that we want to get rid of. But we don't believe that we don't believe that removing them has any benefit to what we're trying to do initially. So here's where we start to tuck into the woods. This will still be mown trail though. But here's where we transition to having a center line and doing 15 feet on either side, rather than just focusing on one side,
On the other side, okay.
Yep. That was a snake.
That was a big snake.
So mown trail all the way through. Again, this is a pretty light area for clearing. There's some large dead standing.
So they'll come down?
Yeah.
All right. And there's all this mugwort in here too.
Yeah, all of this will get tanked, sprayed, and then we'll start rebuilding.
Carrick's, Pennsylvania.
Yep. More cedars.
Yeah, we need to get some baby cedars in here for those hair streaks.
Okay, this is about where our chipped paths will pick up.
Say that again?
This is about where our chipped paths will pick up. Starting here, these stakes now represent the center line rather than just the general line.
Okay.
So from here on in, this is the center line, 15 feet to either side will be cleared.
These are all your orange flags?
These are all my orange flags in the trees and our orange stakes in the ground. One flag per stake.
Where's that dump pile?
I told you it was right up at the top.
No, the dump pile along the stream, is that still in scope?
That's grown in, and I don't think it is. Not right now, no.
Okay.
I mean, that's it right down there. You know, but it's very grown in and they've stopped dumping stuff on it, so I don't know if there's any value yet to pulling it out.
We'll just cause erosion if we do.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll have to talk about that.
So anyway, through here, this is a moderately heavy area.
So,
Here we have 2 flags and 2 stakes to show where the B trail ends, meets the A trail.
interesting. So cut up right through the. Oh, I see the flags. Okay.
You see the flags, sort of.
So kind of on the edge of this open area.
And we'll walk that next. So the deer path picks up down in here, but we're avoiding that. So we're coming over here because it's level. Coming over this way. And our path will pick up to the side here. You can see my next stake. It's just a little bit higher than the deer trail. There's some big trees here close to the trail that we didn't want to damage, so we're actually going to cut into the slope to make the 5-foot path here.
Okay, so it'll cut across.
Flag up there, cutting across here.
Okay.
Like I said, it's pretty light, mostly invasive clearing, not too much cutting to do. And this is about as far as we'll be able to drag things to the chipper from. That last stake where the B trail meets the A trail is about as far as we'll be able to pull a chipper. So this will all be done by hand. The cutting of the trail, the laying of the chips, and the removal of the invasives and everything.
I think my movie's upside down. Is that possible?
No, it doesn't matter. You can rotate it then.
Uh-oh. I think I messed up.
You can cut it and rotate it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is more of the actual trail. These stakes are from the petroleum company, so this gets a little muddy back here, but that's why we're doing it by hand. So it comes along into here, kind of. Cut the trail on this higher part of the slope to avoid damaging big specimen trees like this one. So we're still, about 5 or 10 feet above the existing deer path. And again, we're clearing 15 feet either side of invasives and debris. Up here's the next stake. And starting about here again, we're accessible to the chipper. But it will have to be worked in from the meadow on the other side to this point. We'll work in from the trail start to that point over there, and then this point has to be...
So that's the sleeping cabin though, right up there, right?
Sort of. You'll see, we'll get a better view of that from above, but here the trail comes down through here, like slope. Just on the other side of this gully is the property line. We found some flagging and some trees, so
yeah.
Property line's just about over there.
Yep.
We're going to follow that property line up until it makes the dog leg with the bit that runs along the fields.
Okay.
So we're coming up through here. This is one of the heaviest areas for clearing, mostly because of this one large tree. But there are also a lot of standing dead trees that may be a little too close. No, yeah, it's at least 13 days. That's 2 weeks plus a few days. There's O'Brien and his guys. Now the trail cuts through underneath this tree here.
Okay.
Here's this stake, and then there's a corresponding stake just on the other side.
All right, I see it there.
So we'll loop around there and pick it back up again. See my orange flag on the tree just there? The stake's just in front of it.
Yeah. No,
on the ground there.
Okay. It's over there.
And you're standing next to the next one. So we come up along in here. Next flag's up there, and that's also the intersection with Trail C. So here we are, trail comes in through here. 2 flags to denote that here we start towards Trail C, which connects A and B. Small spur trail, zigzags up the hill there.
Yeah.
We'll trace that out then after we finish Trail A.
So there's 2 trails that go up to that knoll from the perimeter
From
trail.
opposite sides, sort of. Basically from opposite sides of the creek.
Yeah, cool.
Alright, so we're coming in through here. Here's our next stake. Here. And then you can see this row of trees with orange dots on it.
Yeah.
That's their property line on the dog leg side. So we're gonna cut the trail over and kind of hug that a little bit. Coming in through here. This is where the forest actually starts to get pretty nice in here. There's a lot of stilt grass, but other than that, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, the stilt grass is amazing. That's going to take years.
Well, that's why we're doing it incrementally as an integrated plan rather than trying to
Nuke it all at once.
It doesn't work that way. We know that well. So coming up along here, nice little walk. Nicely wooded. We've got the property line to our right. That's straight. Comes along in through areas like this where it's actually really nice. And here's a VSPZ.
Yeah, it is. I see. Yeah, it said take a note. There's multiple grass and sedge species on this spot, so this will be clearly
that area will
denoted.
be protected during construction. Trail will avoid it. Trail comes down through here. Pretty nice. Some of these areas are moderate. There's some standing dead nearby. Things like this will drop to the ground because it starts within the perimeter of the buffer zone. Even though it leads out of it, well out of it, we'll still drop it. So
Yeah.
it's back to normal. We'll cut it up to the buffer zone. So 15 feet from the center line, we'll actually cut up and remove. The rest will just be left laying.
All right, remember that these root masses are used by the native bees, mostly mason bees and leafcutters, for nests. So these should.
Well, we're going to allow them to do whatever they like. If they want to flip back down, they flip back down,
Okay.
which means they're unsafe really to walk by. And if by the time we get close enough to the end and they don't move, then they're good to go and they can stay.
Okay.
Something fun for critters to live in. So here we go, we're still hugging the property line here.
It smells nice in here.
It does, it's great. It's a very nice walk. And as you've seen, the grade is very, very friendly. All less than 10%. I believe our maximum is 7% at any one given spot. So most of the time we're between 1 and 3%, 0 and 3% actually.
Yeah, it's a nice easy walk. Yeah, it's spider season.
Alright, lots of wineberry, lots of stilt grass. So we come into here and this is sort of a corner.
So you would, just from scheduling thing, you'd probably want to hit these, at least the working corridor.
Right away with weed whacking. Yeah, that's the first thing that happens before we bring a team in. We're going to come in, lay out
All the VSPCs
the
first. Yeah.
lay out the VSPZs, lay out the 5-foot trail actually, because there's lots of aesthetic decisions to be made in between these stakes that Sarah and I discussed. Then we'll lay out the buffer zones side by side and come in with weed whackers and knock it down so that it's passable for the team and so that it's the first pass at actually removing them. So we knock them down, build the trail, cut up and chip the wood, build the trail, then spray what's coming back in those areas, then plant, and then another application of spray again next growing season.
Okay.
And continued so on throughout the years. Every time we push further into the next buffer, we repeat the same process within the areas that have already been cleared.
Yeah.
And then push into a new area, another 30 feet into the thick here.
You know, I don't think I've ever been in this corner. I didn't realize how nice this is.
It is.
You know, with how open an area it is.
And there's lots of standing dead timber, so all of this obviously will come down, so it doesn't look like a heavy area, but it really is.
Yeah. No, but this would be great for those light woodland species.
And also making the connection between the meadow up here. This is what we were talking about with Dan.
Okay.
We can start building the connection from the meadow to the forest system right at the edge of this trail as we're working. So that can happen right away. It doesn't have to wait. So we keep moving through here. Again, this is a pretty nasty area, so all this fallen dead will be gone. All the standing dead nearby as well. Keep coming up to here. Sight line to the next entrance and out to the field.
Oh, that's where the green comets are. Yeah, let's go look at those.
So here.
There's a lot of crap in here.
Yeah, it's a lot of siltgrass in here, really, but there are some things growing in here that need to be rescued out before we do anything whacking or cutting or any of that. All right. So now begins the second of the two meadow sections.
Say that again?
This begins the second of the two meadow sections. This one's much shorter than the other one, but it touches this nice big great piece of field here that we're going to try and restore. You know, and this is the area that I was talking about. It's pretty open. It includes our buffer zone with the trail.
Okay.
So we knock all this stuff back, and in here is where we start planting those violets and those things that bring the coordination between the field and the woodland.
Yeah,
Got
it's
our cedar there. We put our pycnanthemum underneath it and attract his.
Yeah, the juniper hair streak.
The hair streaks.
And the regal fritillary. Let's go look at those comets real quick. Yeah, Dan said he literally had to run down the guy that was going to mow all these things down. But, you know, who knew that they were here? I mean, you got the common milkweed. See any caterpillars? No. Yeah, the comets are a lot smaller. It is off topic. Well, it's not entirely off topic because, you know, that's where the trail comes out. So this would be the first area that you'd want to
start naturalizing
because, you know, it makes it part of the whole experience. I can't find them. Yeah, there's a few hundred here. Yeah, I saw them the other day, but I think they're actually up here more. But yeah, they're little and they have little ball flowers. Yeah, there's one. Excellent. So for those who care, oops, there it is. Yeah, see that little flower ball?
Oh,
it's a short milkweed. This one here is only 12 inches. They have these little ball flower systems. They haven't bloomed yet. That's S3 species in New Jersey. In fact, I've never seen them in Pennsylvania. The ecoregion is the same, so it's a really good find. Yeah, it'd be cool to come out of the woods.
Yeah, you just tuck out of the woods a little bit here.
Yeah, and then you're right here in the meadow.
Come along 5-foot mown path right here. Clear to the left. Same way we did with the other meadow piece. We'll do a little bit more than 15 feet off the side into that direction. You know, come right along in here. We'll require in the maintenance plan that it's mowed regularly. Not much clearing to do. Mostly invasives, wineberries, and siltgrass again. Mostly wineberries here.
Here's more comet right here on the trail. Yeah, so you'll obviously you guys will have to be very careful. Yeah, here's where the comets are. Here's another one.
Yeah,
that one has seed pods on it.
Way,
yeah, great.
All right, and then we kind of accentuated a feature that already existed here, which is this little corridor in here. So we tuck back in here. Should still be a mown trail in my mind. We'll do a little cleaning in these trees and these trees here. A little trimming. That's really all that there is. There's some fallen dead stuff, some standing maybe. Not much though. Alright, and then here's where we would pick back up with our chip path.
So we go back in the woods here.
This is the center line. Yep, we tuck back into the woods here. This area, if you can
more
stand
sedges.
back and get a
very nice.
A nice look at it. Well, unfortunately, the trail's going to come through here, but we will do our best to.
Recently, okay.
Right. Smell skunk. Really smell skunk.
Oh, skunk. Yeah, wow. Well, critters are already moving in to eat all those good bugs.
Yep. Oh, they've been here. This is a veritable buffet. So as you can see, this is one of the more damaged areas for sure. Gets a lot worse up here.
Look at all the birds.
Oh, there's a million birds, yep. Here we are coming along, tugging along through here. We did some light clearing as we went, to make it more accessible. Up here.
Barely safe for us to walk.
Yeah, really. Right, we do a nice little gentle turn here.
Why?
Sarah's of the opinion when you're.
Oh, you want turns anyway.
Well, like... you want turns, but you also want. You know, if this is a public park, it'd be very important to have straight lines of sight for safety, but because this is a private property, it's more important. So again, we're getting into the heaviest area for down and hanging timber.
You know, it'll be great for growing here, just as a sidebar, is blueberries.
Yeah.
The low bush ones.
They want good production from the site, so if you can screw it.
Yeah, they do want food production as part of sites. Yeah, we'll have to do a few test plantings and see if they'll support blueberries, maybe even huckleberry. Jeez. It's terrible.
Right here is the junction with the sea trail, spur trail, goes down through here. You can see the flag there.
Ah, okay.
We'll go walk that then after we get done with B here. Now we got to go through the rabbit hole a little bit.
Oh. Where'd all these weeds come from? I mean, other than a handful of sedges here and there.
Berries, that's where all the birds stuff is.
Yeah, other than the handful of sedges, there's nothing in here. Yeah. Other than the soil, you know, particularly in.
Anywhere that's not on trail, we're going to protect as far as for trampling with machinery.
Yeah. Yeah, the soil is really what we're trying to protect.
No compaction anywhere except for along the trail. All right, and then.
Oh, there we go.
Cuts right down to that.
Let me
right
zoom in on that.
of these.
Yeah, I see the post and the flag. Okay.
All right. That's B trail. Cut there.
Cut there?
This is Trail A, towards the end of the 300 feet that border the creek that'll have to be hand cut and sloped. We figured this would be a nice spot for a reflecting bench for mental health credits on the site's criteria.
Yeah, this is an outstanding view.
Nice view of the wetland down here. We could even potentially have some sort of access to it if it was desired.
Yeah, getting the kids down into the stream and the swamp would be a good thing if we can.
Would be fun.
If we have budget for that, we'll see.
Yep. So, you know, some kind of bench or sitting area right up here on the hill, kind of looking down into the wetland.
Yeah, very cool. Resume. Okay, you're on.
All right, so here begins the C trail, C spur trail. There's 2 flags. It's also marked out on the post. 1+407, so 1,400 feet along the A trail from 0.0.
All right.
And to avoid a steep grade, we kind of had to zigzag back and forth up the hill here a little bit.
Oh, wait, pause. Look at this. Now, this is actually a rare plant. I wonder if Jason picked this up in his thing. This is that small leaf. Name will come to me. Anyway.
This is an example of something that we would remove before construction because of the fact that it's not in a big patch of it.
Yeah.
It's just one growing on its own, but we know that it likes to be here, so we'll remove it, propagate it, and then return it to this area. So local genetics.
Yeah, we'll have to look around for these. This is a small leaf snakeroot. It's actually pretty rare.
Right.
And so we're right by that intersection. So,
yep.
All right, we need to find more. Get seeds.
All right.
Okay.
Up here. Then we make a cut back across the hill here. Gentle grade, nice walk. And,
this is all. That's all Enchanter's Nightshade. There's another patch to look out for. Okay.
And then you see here our next stake and flag is just across this fallen tree.
Yeah, I see it.
So I'll loop around here.
You know, what's interesting I've noticed is Sandy took down most of the Norway spruce.
Yeah.
There's very few standing, but there's tons down.
Yep. And then if you look through here, we'll have to walk around this fallen tree, but you can see the next stake.
There it is. Okay.
Ahead.
Yep.
So we'll walk around here.
There's a foxhole we just passed.
So here we are on the other side of that obstruction. You can see the flag through the trees there.
Yes, okay.
The opposing viewpoint to what we just shot.
There it is. Okay. And we're back on top of the knoll.
This stake here, and then the trail ends just up here at these cherries. And right here we can have intersection of Trail B.
That's the end of the tour.
Yep.
This would be an outstanding spot for a lean-to sleeping cabin.
Some kind of, I mean, it's already sort of a cleared area. We can tuck it into the shade a little bit. Got a nice open spot for burning if you want to have a campfire. Plenty of wood.
All right, seems like a plan.